Good evening. We're back with more Marvel Champions. And this evening we'll be playing Thor against Ultron on Expert difficulty. I don't think Thor is generally a champion that you're going to play against Expert difficulty scenarios. But I think Ultron is an exception because he brings a drone into play almost every turn, and that should be good with Thor. So we'll see how it goes. I shuffled my deck, we'll shuffle the encounter deck. And we draw just 5 cards, one of the major limitations of Thor. Do I want to keep for Asgard? It may be good on turn 1. I may keep all of this actually. And then we'll go ahead and bring a drone in. So one note, I know that generally speaking I am not doing this setup in the proper order, and that can matter in some cases, like for example Captain America's shield. However, I've decided I'm going to do that intentionally, and frankly if I got a situation where I was playing Captain America and his shield got placed face down as a drone, I would probably just immediately concede. So the reason why I do the setup a little bit out of, technically out of order is because I would just reshuffle if I fail generally, because I don't think that's a very fun setup rule. I think it should have been, I felt this way in Lord of the Rings LCG as well. There were some cases where, if you are familiar with that game, you'll know that there were a few cases where the setup order could matter, and it kind of arbitrarily made the game unfun in some situations, and I don't know why they didn't sort of errata that or change that rule, or because it would have changed really nothing except made things function like the way you kind of intuitively expect. Like with Thor, you sort of intuitively expect, okay, I can grab Mjolnir, so I'll always be able to grab it turn 1. And if 1 in 40 times you can't because it's a face-down drone, that just isn't, there's no reason for that, really. And so if that did happen, I would just immediately concede, I think. Anyway, enough. I'll climb down off my soapbox now, and we'll go looking for Mjolnir using Thor's ability. And is this the 1 in 40? Now, what are the odds of that? I think it is. What are the odds? Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. There's Mjolnir. We're just going to say, okay, I lost, and then we'll put a new drone there, and then we'll go looking for Mjolnir. I'm sure that there will be 1 or 2, maybe somebody will happen across this video and be indignant about that, but hopefully you, the viewers, will understand, because that's just silly and absolutely hilarious that right after I climbed on a soapbox to talk about it, it happened. What are the odds of that? Anyway, let's get going. So after grabbing Mjolnir, we will go ahead and I think we'll use 4 Asgard here. And I'd also like to get enhanced reflexes out, so we'll use Thor's helmet, Power of Leadership for enhanced reflexes. We'll use Lady Sif for Asgard. And we're gonna, actually, let's bring some of this back, because the card that I probably want to grab with 4 Asgard is Asgard, and I may want to play that immediately, so let's go ahead and, hopefully that's not the drone. If that is, I wouldn't concede. Okay. So 4 Asgard using Thor's helmet, and then we'll go ahead and play Asgard using the remaining 3 cards that aren't Mjolnir, because Asgard is such an important card for Thor. And then we'll go ahead and flip over to Thor and kill the drone, and then we'll draw. Now instead of 4, we draw up to 5. So 1 threat, we bring a drone in when Ultron attacks. And that attack will go undefended, and it is for 5. Then the drone attacks for 1. So we got an encounter card. Villain attacks you again. That's going to bring another drone in. And this attack is going to be for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to drop Thor down to 2. And then we're on to the hero turn. I do draw 2 cards because I engaged a minion this turn. So let's go ahead and get out God of Thunder. Don't need the Defender of the Nine Realms right now. Get out God of Thunder. We'll get out Quinjet. Is there a minion in my... Yeah, there's Lady Sif. Not going to use Make the Call on that. We'll make the call. No, we'll use God of Thunder to get out Mjolnir. I think we're going to have to flip here. And recover for 4. And then draw 5. Could really use a lightning storm. So 1 threat, then Ultron's going to scheme. Which moves the quest into phase 2, brings out another drone. And then each of the drones is going to scheme for 1. And then we get an encounter card, which is another drone. Please give me AoE. Squirrel Girl or Lightning Storm is what I need here. So we could put 1 token on Quinjet for the hero turn. And we're going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4 to play Nick Fury, and I want to draw 3, and I'm looking for a Lightning Storm because I think I might lose if I don't find one. Yay, there it is. Okay, so we'll play that using Defender of the Nine Realms, but now I don't have a lightning resource to use with it. So I should have been more careful about what cards I used to pay for Nick Fury. Well, no, I didn't really have a choice if I wanted to keep Make the Call in hand. So I did draw Lightning Strike, but I didn't draw the lightning resource that I need. But I can flip over to Thor. I can use Vision, Defender, Make the Call, get Mockingbird out, get a stun on the boss, and then we can go 1, 2, 3, take out 3 drones, and not be in terrible shape. So, 1 threat, bring in another drone, Ultron removes a stun, and then we got an encounter card, which is discard an upgrade or support you control. I will discard Quinjet. And then each of the drones should have gotten an attack. Those attacks will go on Nick Fury. So on to the hero phase. We can Lightning Strike now with God of Thunder. I think I'll strengthen numbers here. Exhaust Mockingbird and draw a card. Okay, there's Squirrel Girl. So we'll go ahead and strength. For Squirrel Girl, 1 damage to each. And I'll discard one of the lightning strikes and keep the other one. We'll use Squirrel Girl and Thor to deal 4 damage. And then at the end of the round we'll discard a lightning strike. Well, I might as well use it rather than discard it. Well, maybe not. We'll just discard it and then draw 3. So 1 threat, 1 drone. Another drone when Ultron attacks. That attack will go on Squirrel Girl. 4 a lot. And 2 drone attacks. And an encounter card, which is another drone. So we're going to need a lightning strike here. On to the hero phase. So thwarting is going to be a problem with Thor. We'll go ahead and strengthen numbers again. Maria Hill's a good draw. Do I want to play her, or do I want to put more points into the lightning strike damage? I think I will not play her, and we'll go 1 resource to pay for the lightning strike, and then we'll lightning strike for 2. 2 damage to the boss. And then we will, I think, flip to alter ego now. Yeah. I'm not sure that I can survive if the villain schemes here is the problem. It's going to be close. I may need to use Thor to thwart here, which feels terrible when he attacks for 3. We'll thwart, and then we'll draw 3. That decks me, so an additional encounter card coming this round. And then we've got nothing left to do. So, 1 threat. Where are you, Hawkeye? And then Ultron attacks. We'll put that attack on Mockingbird. Attack is for 6. So Thor would have died. Then we have 2 drone attacks. Then we have 2 encounter cards. First one, the villain schemes for 1, 2. Choose to spend a strength resource or put a drone into play. Okay, we'll spend the resource. So 2 threat, and then the second encounter card is 2 more encounter cards. Villain schemes again for 5, so that's going to put us into phase 3. And that's going to be a loss. So we'll try again. We'll get it set up again. Okay, so we're set up again. So in these gameplay videos with heroes with Marvel Champions, I'm not just going to post videos where I win, because in Lord of the Rings I was just playing through the quests and I wanted to post a win for every quest in the game. But in Marvel Champions, it's not as established as Lord of the Rings was. It had 123 quests or something. Marvel Champions doesn't have that many bosses. I do want to. So my goal here is to kind of evaluate the strength of different heroes and different decks, and I can't do that, at least not for the viewers, if I only post wins. So everyone's already seen an Ultron victory. You certainly know that I'm capable of Ultron victories. In the future I'll play Ultron on Heroic 1 and maybe even Heroic 2, depending on how powerful the cards get. But right now, that's not what we're doing. Right now we're just evaluating Thor to see where he's good, where he's weak, etc. And won't be able to do that very well if I only post Thor victories. So, with pretty much every hero, probably post some losses and maybe some wins or maybe not. With Miss Marvel, I really just posted a loss and I felt that was enough to evaluate the hero, at least with the cards currently available to me. So I think Ultron is a hero that Thor is strong against. Lost the first game. Not going to change the deck up. It's possible that I'll also test an aggression variant of Thor in this video. We'll see. But right now we're just going to move on to attempt number 2. So let's get the deck shuffled up. I hadn't technically lost in that one, but I know this boss well enough to know that if I go into phase 3, while I have dealt virtually no damage to Ultron, there's no point in continuing. So anyway, what of this do I want to keep? We'll discard Lightning Strike, Defender, and I think Lady Sif as well, and we'll draw 3 new. And then there's Mjolnir, unfortunately. Got a drone, and so we can't go draw Mjolnir. We're just going to use energy to get out enhanced reflexes. And don't think I'm going to do anything else. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do anything else. We'll just flip over to Thor. Actually, I think I'll use Thor's helmet to play Mjolnir. Flip over to Thor. I'll kill the drone. Draw 3, actually. No first turn Asgard this time. So, 1 threat. Ultron's attack brings a drone in. Attack will be undefended, and it will be for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1 from the Ultron drone. And then we got an encounter card. which is Ultron heals 2 for each drone. No, he doesn't, so the surges. He's already at full HP. And then he schemes, which is going to push us into phase 2 early, which is a rough start. So, what do I want to do here? I think we'll go Enhanced Reflexes plus Strength for Mockingbird and get a stun on Ultron. We'll use Mockingbird and Thor to take out the drones. Then we'll discard and then draw 1, 2, 3, hoping to draw Hawkeye. 1 threat, 1 drone, remove stun, and then encounter card is another drone. Okay, hero turn, let's go Enhanced Reflexes and another 3 cards to play Nick Fury, and we'll draw 3. We'll use a Quinjet to get a Quinjet out. Attack with Mockingbird, attack with Nick Fury, and we'll get 3 damage in with Thor. Then we'll draw 3. Still no Hawkeye. He hasn't been a drone, right? No. Still in the deck. Okay, so 1 threat, 1 drone, 1 drone when Ultron attacks. So rip Nick Fury, and then 2 damage from the drones, and then an encounter card, which is a buff for the boss. He gains Retaliate. If I don't spend 2 lightning resources, which I actually think I will do with Enhanced Reflexes and Hammer Throw, we'll get rid of that. We'll use Strength in Numbers, exhaust Mockingbird and draw a card. Oof, these draws are rough, but we can go make the call and pay for... I forgot to put a token on Quinjet. We'll use Power of Leadership and Genius to pay for Falcon, who I know is in my discard pile. And Falcon can look at the top 3 cards of the encounter deck and take down 1 threat for each treachery he finds there, which is no treacheries. But we will use him to take out a drone and Thor to take out a drone. Then we'll draw 4. You know, I just realized at this moment that I've been completely forgetting to draw cards with Thor every turn during this attempt. So I've made things a lot harder on myself than they should have been. Let's bring in a drone. Bring in a drone for Ultron's attack. That's going to draw 2 with Thor. And then Mockingbird will tank the attack. And then 2 damage from the drones. And an encounter card, which is a villain buff. He gets a tough status card anytime he's attacked. So for the hero turn, we'll go ahead and add a token to Quinjet. So there's Hawkeye. I think I'm going to get out Squirrel Girl this round. No, I think it's got to be Hawkeye. Let's go Triskelion Vision and for Asgard to get out Hawkeye. I could get out Squirrel Girl as well with Quinjet. I think I will. Discard Quinjet, play Squirrel Girl, deal the damage. That's going to give Ultron a tough card. We'll deal 1 damage to remove it. We'll attack with Thor for 3. Gives him another tough. We'll deal 1 damage, remove the tough. Attack with Falcon for... No, I think I'm going to thwart with Falcon. And then we'll draw 3. So, 1 threat brings in a drone, but Hawkeye will snipe it with an arrow counter. That's going to deck me, so that'll be an encounter card. And then when Ultron attacks, another drone that Hawkeye snipes. And Ultron's attack will go on Squirrel Girl. So Falcon should have 2 damage here. And then we get 2 encounter cards to deal with. First one, Advanced Ultron Drone. Second one, Villain Schemes. Schemes for 3. Alright, for the hero turn, I do have Asgard. That's good. Gonna definitely get that out. Then I think we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 to take out the drone, and we'll snipe the resulting mini drone. And I think I'm gonna, no, I need Falcon to tank an attack, so we'll just draw 5 end turn. So 1 threat, Hawkeye snipes the drone. Ultron attacks, that's going to bring in another drone. Hawkeye's out of arrows. We'll have the attack go on Hawkeye because I do have make the call and I'll probably want to bring him back right away. Drone attacks for 1. Counter card. Drone environment. That's a tough card. And I forgot to draw 2 with Thor when a drone came in, but I'll do that now. Don't have any lightning resources, but I have power of leadership if I want to get rid of the upgraded drones. Which I think I do. So 1, 2, 3. No more upgraded drones. Then make the call. 1, 2, 3 to bring back Hawkeye. We're sort of limping along here. Take out the drone with Hawkeye. Go 1, 2, 3 and add a toughness to Ultron. Then draw 5. So 1 threat, 1 drone. 1 drone from Ultron's attack, and that attack will go on Falcon. Then 1 encounter card, which is Shadow of the Past, so that's rough. It's going to bring Loki in. And Family Feud, which 1 additional threat for each Asgard card. That's 1, 2, 3. That's too much threat for Thor to deal with. It's kind of brutal that they put on the Nemesis set additional threat for Thor to deal with when that is his weakness. But I suppose it's thematic with Loki frustrating his brother, but it makes Thor even weaker than he already was. But we will use a Hawkeye arrow to snipe Loki for 2 damage. For the hero turn, we'll go energy. We don't have any way to deal with that threat. Yep. Well, we'll use Thor to take out Loki. We've got to discard a card in the encounter deck, and if it's a treachery, which it isn't, so Loki doesn't heal, he just goes away. And we'll use Hawkeye to thwart. Let's go God of Thunder, Strength in Numbers, Triskelion to Hammer Throw for 8. No, can't do that. Got a Toughness card. So let's not use Hawkeye to thwart. Let's use Hawkeye to ping the Toughness off. And then we'll Hammer Throw for 8. Just going to add Toughness. So 1 threat, 1 drone, 1 snipe by Hawkeye, 1 drone when Ultron attacks. That attack will go on Hawkeye. Rip Hawkeye, and then 1 damage from the drone. Actually, it's 2 threat thanks to Family Feud. And then 1 encounter card. This is not going to be a win. And there it is. The villain attacks. I only have 1 HP. Okay, well, before we put a pin in Thor, let's try an aggression variant against Ultron. So what killed us in that attempt was the threat, really. Thor can't deal with a lot of threat. And from time to time, encounter cards will put a lot of threat out there for you to deal with. So Thor seems like a more thematic focused hero. And he can be situationally good. I do definitely think he's capable of beating Ultron on Expert because I've done it before, just not on video. Well, I did record it, but there were too many mistakes in the video for me to post it. But I do definitely think he's capable of beating Ultron on Expert with the leadership deck. But not as consistently as Captain America, certainly. Not even as consistently as Iron Man, I don't think. I'd put him about at the level of Captain Marvel, maybe a little stronger than Captain Marvel in certain situations, but weaker in others. So, let's go ahead and shuffle the decks. Draw 5. And we will not keep Relentless Assault, Melee, or Hammer Throw. And there's Mjolnir, that's not great luck. There we go. Let's go ahead and use Strength to get out God of Thunder, Energy to get out Thor's helmet, and we'll use God of Thunder to get out Mjolnir. It's not bad in terms of efficiency. We'll flip, so we get 5 plus 5 HP from the helmet. Did I forget to do that in one of my previous attempts? I may have. Probably forgot to draw cards multiple times too, so it's possible that the loss that I took was entirely due to bad play with Thor. Take some practice to learn the ins and outs of each hero. Anyway, we'll use Thor to take out the drone. We'll draw 4. Let's at least try to remember to draw cards with Thor every round. So in comes a minion for Ultron's attack. We'll draw 2. Here comes the attack. It's undefended. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1 for the drone. And then 1 encounter card, which is Retaliate for Ultron. So I will use Defender as for Asgard to get rid of that. Oh, it's lightning. Okay. Hammer throw, we'll get rid of that. We'll use God of Thunder for Asgard Defender to play Valkyrie. Deal 2 damage to the drone. And Yarnborn I really like, so I'm going to keep it in my hand, but I can't play it this round, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. And then draw 3. Mean Swing. Okay, so 1 threat, 1 drone coming in, that means 2 cards drawn. Look at me, 2 for 2 in remembering to draw cards. 1 attack from Ultron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 1 from the drone. Then an encounter card, which is Swarm Attack. Each drone minion attacks. That's fine. 1 damage. So for the hero turn, I do want to play Mockingbird. And I do want to play Yarnborn, so no... Well, we'll keep Mean Swing. Play Yarnborn. Get a stun on Ultron. So we'll ping the drone. We'll play Mean Swing when Thor makes his basic attack, so it'll be for 6, which exhausts Mjolnir. And then we're gonna need to use Valkyrie to thwart. And then draw 4. There's Asgard. So 1 threat, remove stun, and 1 encounter card, which is Concussive Blast, which is going to kill Valkyrie. But not that bad overall. Let's go ahead and... So I should have actually... I didn't draw 2 cards there because no drone came into play due to Ultron being stunned. I actually would have liked to have a drone there. I would have drawn 2 cards and I could have used Chase Them Down. Now I'm going to have to use Thor to thwart, and we'll use the 3 cards or use 2 cards in God of Thunder to play Asgard. And we get to draw 4 now. 1 threat, 1 drone, draw 2. Ultron attack on Mockingbird. Drone attack on Thor. And counter card, under attack, my nemesis, threat removal. Should I take 3 damage or 2 threat? I have 2 chase them downs and I can use them both after I attack the drone, so I actually think I will take the damage. For the hero turn, we'll attack with Thor. Chase them down, chase them down. Get rid of under attack. 1, 2, 3 for Tigra. I really like Hall of Heroes. We'll use God of Thunder and Nick Fury to play Hall of Heroes. Should have played that before. Wait, was there a minion to defeat? Actually, don't think so. So we'll use Tigra to thwart for 1. Draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This actually isn't going that bad. When Ultron attacks, he brings in a minion, and that's going to draw 2. Did I forget that last round? I may have. That decks me though, and that's going to bring in a counter card. Ultron's attack is going to have to go on Tigra here. And then the drone attacks for 1, and then we have 2 encounter cards, and if it's another attack I lose, but it's kind of my fault because it was a little greedy to stay in hero form here. Okay, we got another drone. No attack. Okay, another drone. So I get away with it. Let's go with Genius for Relentless Assault on the advanced drone. Overkills it by 1. Can you decide where the overkill damage goes? Can it go to an ally or does it have to go to a boss? Let me check. No, it has to go on the boss. Oh, that's 1 damage to Ultron after the 4 to the guard, and that brings another drone into play. Does get a token on Hall of Heroes. I want to use energy to get out, or I can use chase them down when I attack and defeat that enemy, remove 2 threat. So I use energy to play Hulk. And we'll use Hulk to attack a drone, and hopefully this is going to be lightning. No, okay, it's 2 more damage, that's fine too. Then we'll use Thor to kill a drone. So that's 3 tokens on Hall of Heroes. And we'll use Mean Swing and God of Thunder to get another God of Thunder. And we'll flip over to Odin's Son and draw 6. So Ultron's going to advance the scheme here, but that's fine. Schemes, discard a strength resource. Yeah, sure. Do that. And then 2, that's going to bring a drone in. Then an encounter card, which is Drone Environment. That's a tough one. We'll get rid of it right away. I will recover with Thor. I will discard, exhaust Hall of Heroes and remove 3 counters from it. Doesn't get discarded. That's a great card. Draw 3 cards. And then we'll use God of Thunder, Hammer Throw Melee, and play Nick Fury and draw 3 cards. God of Thunder, that's a hero resource, so I needed to flip to Thor first. Hercules costs 5 right now. I'll probably get better value for him later. Can't for Asgard anymore because I'm not alter ego anymore. Alright, let's just go ahead and attack with Nick Fury on the drone. It's going to be glory counter, attack with Hulk for 3, and okay, he drew a strength card, so that's another 2. This is a very high value Hulk. And I'm going to drop for Asgard, I think I want to keep everything else. Draw one more. Ready up. So 1 token. It's going to bring a drone in. That's going to draw 2 cards. Ultron brings in another one when he attacks. Attack on Nick Fury. And encounter card. Exhaust your identity card and it surges. Ultron heals 2 for each drone. Okay. So now let's play Hercules for 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll get out Hercules. We'll go use God of Thunder to play Lightning Strike and use the other God of Thunder to charge it for 1 damage, and that's going to charge up Hall of Heroes. Then we'll attack with Hercules for 3. Attack with Hulk for 3. This card is science, so that's the end of Hulk. But we got a lot out of that Hulk. Then we'll draw 3. That decks me, so an additional encounter card. So 1 threat, that's going to draw 2 with Thor. When Ultron attacks, it gets another one. Actually, I should have flipped to alter ego here, because I don't think Thor can take this attack. Is there any harm in retconning that? I don't think so. No RNG elements have been revealed, so we'll just go back and... Well, I have to put the mean swing back on the top of the deck, unfortunately, because I only draw 6 and I don't draw 2 additional with Thor. Otherwise I would just lose right there, or I would lose Hercules, I think. Yeah, I think I have to do that. Probably should have seen that I had to do that before I went through the sequence, but sometimes you only realize things after you've done them. Let's go ahead and scheme with the villain. So he only brings in 1 drone now, because now that's too many things I'm undoing. I better just take the punishment. Hercules is going to die here. RNG elements have already been revealed, so rip Hercules, 2 damage from the drones, and then 2 encounter cards, and hopefully it's not another attack. It is another attack. So yeah, I really did need to flip. So let's just, for curiosity's sake, let's see what would have happened if I had not flipped, or if I had flipped to alter ego. So we would have the scheme, which was 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the drone schemes for 1. And then this is a surge when you're in alter ego. And each drone, when you engage with your hero, there aren't any because he's an alter ego, so we get another drone. And then the villain schemes again, and that's going to be for 1, 2. Okay, any boost card there probably would have ended the game. So that's going to be the villain phase. For the hero phase, we need to recover. And we'll need to lightning strike. We'll draw 3 cards. Then we'll lightning strike after flipping over to Thor. Lightning strike using... Well, no, first let's Defender of 9 Realms. Advanced Ultron Drone is the only minion in this deck. And that's going to remove 3 threat and also draw 2 cards. So, let's use Hercules to attack the Ultron drone for 3. Let's go ahead and lightning strike using Relentless Assault, I think. And we'll go God of Thunder, just 1 resource. It's going to charge up Hall of Heroes by 3. Bring in another drone when the advanced drone dies. We'll go 1, 2, 3 and play melee. Deal 3 damage to the drone, then 3 damage to Ultron. That's going to drop him into phase 3, bring 2 more drones in. I charge up Hall of Heroes. We'll go 1, 2, or we'll use melee to play another lightning strike. Use the second God of Thunder for 1 damage. And use Chase Them Down. I think I'd have to use the Chase Them Down with a melee though, right? Because this is a hero action, not a hero attack. But then in the text it says this attack ignores tough status cards. Is that actually an attack for the purposes of Chase Them Down? I'm going to have to check on that. Yeah, I think the consensus is this isn't an attack because it's not specifically labeled as an attack, even though it has attack in the card text. So I can't use Chase Them Down, but I think I may need to, so yeah, let's not lightning strike. So there were 2 drones, right? I discarded melee to play lightning strike. Instead, I'm going to use Genius and melee to play hammer throw. Which is gonna bring Mjolnir back, deal 7 damage in addition to a drone. In addition to killing a drone. And then I can chase them down and get rid of Ultron's imperative. And use God of Thunder to get Mjolnir back out again. So that's about as good as that can get. Draw 4 more, ready up. So 1 threat brings 1 drone. Ultron is in phase 3 now. So these drones have 2 HP. Did I account for that last round? Should have 1 more because it's 7 or 6 instead of 7 from the hammer throw. and the other one should have 2. I think it's okay because I think I meleeed another one. I'm not sure. I have to go back and look at it. That may be a mistake. Anyway, after the drone comes in, Ultron's going to attack, and this time we'll have Hercules take it for 7. Drones each attack for 2. But Ultron actually can't take damage unless the drones are gone while he's in phase 3. So he doesn't take anything from hammer throw there. Disaster all around. Let's go and a counter card. Villain schemes. It's going to scheme for 4. That puts us into phase 3. Okay. Did I remember to draw 2 cards? No. We'll go energy for Hulk. Or do I want to use energy for damage? We got lightning strike with relentless. It's lightning strike using we'll just use a God of Thunder, and then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. We'll go Power of Aggression, Hulk. Ooh, it's wild card, so it's strength, 2 more damage. We'll use Mean Swing. Exhaust Mjolnir, that ups Thor's attack to 6. Actually add 3 to Hall of Heroes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll flip. It's really risky to flip though. It means I have to kill him next round. If I don't just immediately lose. If I don't flip, I have to have Hulk tank it. It's risky. That's really tough. I'm not gonna flip. Just draw 5. Ready up. 1 threat. Ultron will attack. There's an acceleration token. Ultron's attacking Hulk. Let's see if it's +3. So I would have survived with, no wait, he would have schemed for 4, so I would have lost if I did flip. But Hulk dies. 6 damage, and then get an encounter card, and if I survive this, I'll win. Exhaust your identity card and surge. Advanced Ultron drone. Okay. So I should draw 2 cards for Thor. Can I deal 14 damage? And if I hadn't gotten my identity card exhausted, the answer would have been a resounding yes. Well, let's go with how do I deal the most damage here? Can go Relentless Assault for 4. But that doesn't deal damage to Ultron because it brings a drone in right away, right? Or does it overkill for 1? I'm really not sure. Let's go God of Thunder, God of Thunder. Chase them down for hammer throws. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I have one short for being able to play melee. So I have to survive one more round. Okay, I can't hammer throw. So if I hammer throw, I will die due to being threaded out if I flip, and I'll die due to attack if I don't. So I need to use Chase Them Down, God of Thunder to play Valkyrie instead. Or actually, you could play Nick Fury spending melee as well and draw 3 cards. Then we can use Nick Fury to kill the drone. Actually, we'll go Defender, Mean Swing, Valkyrie to Mockingbird. And stun the boss and then deal 1. Okay. 2 threat, remove stun. Encounter cards. Ultron drones. Villain attacks. And then it'll win on this turn. I can just go Mean Swing. Melee. Or Hammer Throw. Oh, except you can't Hammer Throw and Mean Swing, so melee. Okay, well, I certainly did not play well enough that I would consider this a win, because I had to retcon something after RNG elements had been revealed. I made lots of small mistakes, some of which may have impacted the game. I probably wouldn't post this video if I was posting just to, show an Ultron victory. But in terms of evaluating Thor as a hero, I think it serves well enough. We can certainly see some of the strengths and weaknesses of Thor. One of the strengths certainly is that he is fun to play, especially when you go aggression. And some of these new aggression basic cards are really strong. All of Heroes is really good. That's like a must include in every aggression deck, I think. Yarnborn is really good, although I didn't use it at all in this video. I like Hercules, even though I don't think he's that strong. But it's fun when you get him out on the table. I don't think he's that strong because I think a lot of the time he'll have to sit in your hand until you get a good spot to play him. And not every scenario is like Ultron, where there's like guaranteed minions on the board every round. And in this case, Thor has niche appeal because he's almost guaranteed to draw 2 cards every round. Though I think I forgot a few rounds and made things more difficult on myself, and I certainly forgot in a number of the other attempts, probably all of them, and made things more difficult on myself. So Thor is probably a little stronger than I made him look here, because I played poorly. He's a little stronger than I made him look here, but not that strong, because Captain America really didn't struggle with Ultron on Expert at all. And I even think Iron Man is stronger than Thor. I stand by that. I think Thor is only situationally stronger than Captain Marvel. But he is fun to play. So that would be the appeal in buying him, I think. He's a very aggressive, high damage, fun to play hero, but very inconsistent. So, thank you for watching.